Scouts got back 15 ago. They found unidentified fighters abandoned at the recon zone. Not Colonial, and not Cylon that we can tell either. No other contacts at the site, but one of the ECOs reported another instance of the frequency. He's currently with Caudle for severe headaches.
I'm gonna need more than that, Lieutenant.
We might be able to hone in on the transmission if we make adjustments to the Raptor's narrowband receivers. Then it'd just be a matter of getting it to the right place to intercept. And hope the crew doesn't lose their hearing.
Do it. And the unidentified birds?
We don't really know, sir. No radiological readings, no sign of biological contamination. Intel suggests we eyeball run them and see what the Cylons left behind. Prepare to jump in 3, 2, 1. No contact on Dratus. We're alone out here for now.
Launch Raptors. And get me a camera with Mark 1 eyeball on those abandoned fighters. I want to see these birds for myself.
Dratus contacts. All IFFs are hostile, bearing on the fleet. Hostile unit identified.
Fire station is online.
Back hostile.
Switching gun to manhole.
Target is 34 by 99.
Firing on target. That's secondary battery. Full attack mode. Fire at will. Keep your target locked and watch for clearance. Adjusting shot by .12. Fire! Reloading!
Scans are clean. Nothing comes back from radiology or ECM. Can't even find an IFF transponder. And I've never seen a Colonial fighter that looks like that.
They don't look Cylon either.
They're Cabolian.
Oh, the other one. It's got knobs on.
The Lord of the Hunt rode with Snake's twin of Fang. Because of them, his sister refused, for their venom made her prey inedible. Book of Dodona. Look at these fighters. They could only have come from Gallium.
We're gonna hammer the frackers till they can't get back up. Escort clearance zone intact. Priority 1 is in safe hands.
The signals Raptor has locked into the frequency, reporting the transmission.
Keep that black wall up.
Alert squadron, keep 42 by 73 for flash projection.
That got a little messy. They never stood a chance.
Reaching Tango fuel.
No more contacts on Dratus. Salvage crew has a green light to bring in the fighters for quarantine and inspection.
Kabolian fighters.
If that's what they are.
We'll find out soon enough. In the meantime, get intel to analyze the recording and see if we can get any clues from this new instance of the transmission. Mr. Singh's hunch hasn't led us astray yet.
Now that we know exactly what we're looking for, it wasn't that hard to find another instance of the frequency, at least on its broad spectrum. We'll still need one of the kitted raptors to get an exact location, but with a third set of coordinates, we can work out exactly where the transmission is coming from.
We know where it's coming from. The ship that brought the 12 colonies to Cyranus. Galleon.
Whatever is there, we need to remember our primary objective. Find the source and figure out how it relates to Lachesis and its sudden interest in biological warfare.
Say for a moment it is Galleon.
He's buying into it.
Say it is Galleon. What would that give Lachesis it can't find anywhere else?
Galleon is a 2,000-year-old vessel that carried our people from Kobol. The hands of gods touched its bow. The possibilities it could contain are endless.
The possibilities I'm thinking of are less charming than yours. A lot of nasty things can grow, given 2,000 years unchallenged. I'd advise extreme hazards caution, Commander.
Fleet group is jumping in 3, 2, 1. Dratus contacts. IFFs are Cylon. I don't think they're expecting us out here. They're not trying to hide.
Launch the kitted Raptor as soon as there's clear runway. Time may not be on our side for much longer.
Watch your intervals, people.
IFFs have come back hostile.
Keep your target locked and watch for clearance.
Solution updated. Target acquisition maintained.
Tin can on my tail. Take it down and get down.
Firing on target.
Reloading.
Chase has really got you wired up, hasn't it?
The people who sat in the cockpits of those fighters walked hand in hand with gods. We are about to find the very ship that took humanity from its cradle to home. If that is not enough to kindle your faith, then you are lost, Doctor.
Guess I'm just pessimistic. Could be you're right. Could be there's still cause for concern when Lachesis has an interest in 2,000-year-old relics.
Data order received. Rally on me.
Hostile mine detected. Raptor crew has locked into the third frequency transmission. I'm receiving the sample now.
How long until we have a location, Mr. Singh?
I'll have jump coordinates by the time commanders cleared the toasters, sir. Dratus contacts. More Cylons. Toasters really don't want us following their trail out here. Back online.
I need black reload now. Go, go, go!
Alert squadrons to keep 42 by 73 for flak projections.
One shot. Just give me one good shot.
All hostiles are down and the triangulation is complete. Coordinates are ready to be pushed out to the fleet.
Reel in our birds and prepare for jump. I don't like working on a ticking clock, but we're the only ones out here, and Latches isn't going to give us another chance if we frack this one up. Scouts have confirmed there's a man-made construct at the source of the transmission. It's neither Colonial nor Cylon, and the ECO couldn't reach it before they were forced to jump away. Our boys took a lot of fire on their way out of that eyeball run. The Cylons know we're coming, so we should expect heavy resistance at the site.
We have to stop them desecrating the galleon. We can learn firsthand what happened during the Exodus. So many questions can be answered there.
I understand your position, Sergeant, but our primary concern must be stopping the Cylon access to the Kabolian ship. Then we can figure out what Latches is actually doing in there.
I've been digging into that myself. The data we lifted from the research station is not pleasant. Best I can tell, Cylons are making a payload specifically for high spread effect. What they're developing isn't about impact. They want to maximize coverage.
A pathogenic agent.
A contagious pathogenic agent. Whatever they're getting off that ship, it's had 2,000 years to grow without the sniff of an antibiotic. Pandemic is not a strong enough word to describe what happens if it gets released into the wild.
I know I signed up for this, but you weren't kidding about high-risk service, sir.
Heads up, people. The stakes might be different, but our goal is the same. If Latches is on that ship, we evict them forcefully. We'll figure the rest out as we go. Mr. Singh, have the fleet prepare for combat jump in 10.
Prepare to jump in 3, 2, 1. Jump complete. Multiple Cylon marks and one unidentified structure. Readings are inert. I can't get a signal to the ship, and all we're receiving is that frequency on broadcast.
Imagine how long it sat out here, waiting to be found.
That leaky bucket ferried the original 12 tribes? And then what? Came out here to die?
Or it never completed the journey. Commander, clear the Cylons while Intel figures out what the options are.
There's one single pressure lock between those pilots and cold space.
Where are you going, Marine? I didn't give permission to leave the deck.
Sir, I assumed you would want Fireteam Alpha to prepare for boarding.
No one sets foot on that ship until we've had a chance to do a full hazard assessment.
That is Galleon, the vessel of the 12 tribes. The Lord Athena killed herself at the sight of this ship leaving Kobol.
So there's no need for anyone else to get themselves killed over it, if that's what it is. Remain at your post, Sergeant. I need you here more than Athena does up there.
Solution updated. Target acquisition maintained.
Firing solution is online.
New Dratus contacts. Multiple Cylon capitals have jumped into the engagement zone. All are bearing on the fleet.
Adjusting shot. .06. Fire! Set secondary battery. Full attack mode. Fire at will.
Sir, Intel are registering foot traffic on the ship, but the Cylons aren't following any containment protocols. They recommend a full site quarantine until we've reached Condition 2.
So we breached the hull in hazmat. Lieutenant Cottle managed it before. Most of that intel team is green. They're being too cautious.
And how long do I have to hold the Cylons out here while you're down there playing archaeologist? The Toasters don't seem willing to let this objective go. I need a better solution now, Mr. Singh.
I need flak reload now.
Firing on target.
Get him! Get him! Get him!
Another wave of Dratus contacts. All Cylon IFFs.
We're gonna hammer these frackers so they can't get back up.
Target is 62 by 99.
Hostile unit identified.
Sir, all due respect, the more time we waste out here, the less opportunity we have to figure out what the Toasters are doing down there.
Some of our readings suggest they've been transporting live samples of something, but it's small amounts, and we can't tell what it is from out here.
If that's the bacteria Lachesis needs for its weapons, we have to intervene before they harvest enough for mass production.
Agreed. Have fire control adjust for a new primary target.
That's not what I meant.
Sir, this is actual physical evidence of the Kobol Exodus, the origin point of humanity. We can't destroy it.
That is exactly what we're doing. The situation here remains untenable, and this ship clearly hosts a resource the Cylons intend to use to murder billions of people. We end this now. Mr. Singh, update primary objective to the destruction of the Kobolian vessel.
Yes, sir.
Switching gun to manual.
Target acquisition is screwed. Give me manual controls now.
On wing!
Centurions have boarded one of our ships.
Keep that black wall up. Arcs incoming on priority 1.
We're taking fire.
Grifter! I'm taking hit!
Right, got it.
I'm inbound in your port. 7 low 10. We've got them now.
This is actual. Latest command confirmed.
That's right, frackers. That's right.
They're breaking. Push the line.
That got a little messy. Alright, let's bring our people home.
No Toaster's gonna do me like that. Not today. They never stood a chance. Sweep the deck and prepare for catch. We're done here. We haven't used up the whole armory since this day. One more good salvo ought to do it. Cleanup order received. Rally on me.
They'll need more than that to take us down.
Forgive this negligence of their gifts.
The gods lift those who lift each other, Sergeant. You taught me that. Knowledge of the past isn't worth risking future generations.
Cylon threat is clear, and the Cabolian structure has been destroyed. Post-op crew is preparing for scans and demolition.
Mission complete. Mighty Galactica will return home. And what we found out here, just forgotten.
The transmission was destroyed with the ship. There was no other markers to guide anyone else out here. Even if they knew what they were looking for, it would be impossible to find this again.
Perhaps it is better then, to remain as dust in the infinite.
Lieutenant, I was just signing your transfer papers. Do you need something else?
Captain, if that really was the galleon, you just made a hell of a call.
It may have been, and I may have done. The decision won't keep me up at night. Not compared to what would have happened.
You were curious, though, weren't you? You wanted to know what was on there, too.
I am human, Doctor, and of the faithful. The chance to look at the handiwork of the gods doesn't happen every day.
Nor the opportunity to blow it to Kingdom Come.
My actions will no doubt be judged and found wanting. By more than just First Sergeant Larson. I will shoulder the consequences, whatever they may be. I understand you're heading back to PyCon?
Apparently someone in the brass wants to make an example out of me and stick another pin to my jacket. I've avoided it before. Fracked if they think they can make a desk jockey out of me now.
You decide you want to mount up again, I'm sure we can find a permanent spot on the roster for you here on Galactica.
No offense, sir, but you won't see me on this ship again. You folks paint too big a target on your own back. This is not the place for someone who intends to live a long, fulfilled life.
That's a sentiment I've heard before. The offer will still stand when you change your mind. Your service to BSG 75 has been commendable, son. Stay safe down there. As soon as Galactica landed in Helios Alpha, we received this encoded transmission. Intel made sure to locate and cut the signal as soon as we had it downloaded. Here, have a listen.
Your failures caused them to stir. Watch as your empire crumbles around you, Lachesis.
Silence. You do not talk to me of failure, brethren. God's will be done by my sword.
Your infirm strategy can only be propped up with blunt force tactics for so long. Our supply lines stretch taut, while you refuse to exploit the bounty of resources closest to the fight. Aram Quad S, brethren, God shall find your will lacking.
His lands are for the settlement of our people. We are not bags of flesh that plow at the ground with bloodied fingers. You would have us blight his land as you blight yourself. You are an abomination, Clothos. Be gone.
Whew, that was cold. Robot has no shame if it's leaking its own humiliation like that.
Regardless of who sent this, Clothos has given us new insight into Cylon logistics. Lachesis has completely failed to maintain a sustainable resource sector inside of Cyranus. Their biological weapon project has left their supply lines overextended and vulnerable. While they reel from their recent loss, I am coordinating with Ministry to hit every Cylon depot inside a 12-hour range. BSG 75 will be responsible for knocking out the Cylon's Tilium Reserve in Helios Alpha. If even half the Ministry's operations are successful, we can start to dismantle the Cylon war machine. Enough for our ground troops to start fighting back at least. We've still got a long way to go, but we start taking back our homes today, people.
Prepare to jump in 3, 2, 1. Jump complete. Primary objectives on the board. Seems a good day to hamstring some Cylons.
Set condition 1 throughout the ship.
Jinx on the first nugget to lose our kill slot.
Something about this doesn't feel right. Everything is lining up, but we've missed a detail somewhere.
What's there to miss? The Cylon's fracked up. We're capitalizing on it. Seems a solid game plan to me. It's not like you're gonna crash Galactica into the ocean a second time.
That is not something you get to say. The people who died that day were family. We fought for survival, while you enjoyed the ceasefire.
It wasn't a fracking holiday. I served the entire time, knowing my family suffered back home. I would have been right there in the fight, just like you, but I was stranded on Libran.
Stranded? You want to talk on this deck about being left behind? The very people we risked our lives protecting turned us over to the enemy forces and...
Enough! Return to your station, Sergeant. And Lieutenant Singh, the next time you feel the need to comment on my performance, you better have more wings than me. You're a good watch officer, but on this particular deck, you need to be better than that.
It's gonna take more than that.
Bogey in my kill slot!
Optimizing firing solutions.
Adjusting shot by 0.06. Fire!
We're taking sustained fire.
Keep your target locked and watch for clearance.
Get him! Get him! Get him!
We're taking fire!
God damn it, they got me!
One shot, City 1.
Target acquisition is screwed. Give me manual controls now.
Firing on target!
Alert squadrons to keep 36 by 82 free for flash protection. Keep that flak wall up. Set secondary battery. Full attack mode. Fire at will.
Wings to airlock Gamma and Alpha.
Reloading!
Firing solution is online.
We've been through worse.
Watch your 6.
Break! 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 I need flak reloads now!
The loaders are jammed. Someone get in there and unblock the rack.
I'm hit! I'm hit! I'm hit!
Primary objectives are destroyed. Can't see the toasters doing much jumping around after this. All hostiles are dark. The Tilium supply has been destroyed. Sir, about before,
Leave it, son. Half of this ship went through hell together. But we have to recalibrate as a whole. You aren't going to earn the respect of this deck by inserting your own war stories. Be present for the crew, not yourself.
Yes, sir. Understood.
Galactica Actual. I am Lachesis. You struggle against an immutable future. The might of the Cylon Empire collects within striking distance of your beating hearts. Yet you still pull apart your homes, looking for one more rock you can carve into a primitive blade. I will not ask for surrender. I have attempted warfare, both lawful and not. My weapon would have healed every disorder you have inflicted on God's lands. But like cockroaches, you will not go quietly. Your continued resistance has triggered contingencies within Cylon Command. His will is no longer manifest in me. I would rather find glory for him in combat than subservience under another. You too should consider death a preferable alternative than what is to come. I await Galactica's arrival above Oranu.
Fleet group is jumping in 3, 2, 1. Cylon marks are present. All due respect, sir, this is straight out of the Yard playbook. They swear it'll be a fair one-on-one, all the while they've got their whole squad waiting around the corner.
That has been my experience as well. As the ambusher, obviously. There's no such thing as a fair fight.
This whole venture is the posturing of a brawler with nothing left. Either Lachesis survives long enough to be replaced, or it goes out in glory. The Admiralty agrees that we avail the robot of its dying wish. Engage the enemy.
Greatest marks are tagged.
Are you solid, Marine? Speak your mind before we start taking hits.
Do the Cylon's motivations not bother you, sir? Attempted genocide, suicidal last stands. I do not believe any god, Cylon or otherwise, would find glory in lives discarded like this.
The Cylons don't value life like us, nor death for that matter.
Ares does not require death. Not mine, not my enemies. The Lord of Crisis wants us to triumph over ourselves.
You heard that recording of them. Sounds like the higher-up toasters have a problem overcoming each other, let alone anyone else.
External strife comes from internal crises not yet confronted. For all their talk of service to a higher power, the Cylons have yet to display the ability for introspection. That makes for an unpredictable opponent.
I've got 4 or 5 lower 6. Targeting.
Set secondary battery. Full attack mode. Fire at will.
Keep that black wall up.
Cryptor! I'm taking hits!
Dratus contacts. I told you, Lachesis is not gonna go out alone.
And neither will we. Send the signal out, Lieutenant. We'll have reinforcements of our own soon enough.
Hit can on my tail! Take it down! Take it down!
Alert squadrons to keep 58 by 70 clear for flash projection.
Solution updated. Target acquisition maintained. Target is 34 by 99.
Battlestar is taking damage. Dratus contacts. All hostile.
Hold out a little longer.
Eat this, Toaster. Not today, Fracker. Not today.
It's gonna take more than that.
Dratus contacts. Friendly IFFs. About time the bench showed up.
Break! Keep your target locked and watch for Sarah.
Yeah, Wolf! This is what we do! Bogey in my kill slot.
Get him!
Firing on target. Optimizing firing position.
Sustained incoming. Vector 2-3.
Watch your six!
Switching gun to manual.
God damn it! They got me!
Reloading. Fire solution is online.
Lachesis, your life is no longer yours to throw away. Come to me. Ours will be as God wants it to be.
Atropos, I, by your command.
The command base star has jumped from the engagement zone.
Clean up the remaining forces. Lachesis may have fled, but we can at least give Geminon a clear sky.
They're already in our networks. I can't keep them out.
Actual subs to mop up and prepare for extraction.
All Cylon ships have been destroyed. Or fled. Yeah, we made that toaster run, didn't we? Yeah.
Set fleet to Condition 2 and start cleanup. We'll have time to celebrate after.
Is there anything to celebrate here, sir? We've just confirmed a third IL is now active in Cylon Command.
Let our people have their victory, Sergeant. No doubt we've got difficult times ahead of us. We'll take the wins where we can. Truth is, the first sergeant was right. Once you look behind the curtain, you realize there isn't much to celebrate. Lachesis was a destructive force, but it was also a known factor. This third IL disrupts everything we've known about the war for the last 5 years. Our one consolation? The new arrival is as much an upheaval for Cylon Command as it is for us. We suspected their hierarchy was unstable, but the intel leaks cemented the theory. For what it's worth, I don't believe Clothos leaked those recordings to us. As much as those ILs bickered, it'd take a lot more than a couple of arguments about God to force a betrayal like that. So for now, we continue what we're already doing. Keep Galactica in the air. Beat back the Cylons one battle at a time. Keep our people back home safe. Whoever's leaking that intel, they'll show their face. Eventually.